Hey y'all, what's going on? It's Barb Meets World. We're back to discuss Married to Medicine Season 12, Episode 11. What happens in Jamaica stays in Jamaica. Y'all, before we get into all of that, please don't forget to like the video. It helps me and my channel in terms of the algorithm. It helps me attract new subscribers such as yourselves. If you are not a current subscriber, hit the subscription button. Share me with all of your people. Don't forget to comment down in that comment section. I want to hear from you. And turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads, y'all. And without further ado, here we are. Yep. Okay, y'all. Okay. I'm still really enjoying Married to Medicine, but if I can speak so candidly, I'm kind of starting to get a little annoyed by one person in particular who typically doesn't annoy me, but I know she annoys a lot of viewers on other occasions. My goodness, we're going to get into that towards the end of the episode, though. Let's jump right in this because you know I can be long-winded. So let me throw my banner up here so you know where to follow me on my socials. And let's go. Okay, so we opened this episode with Angel's movie premiere. Y'all know how I feel about Angel. Anyway, but tell me why it was Contessa, Mimi, Simone, and Quad. They all came out to support. It was all cool. It was all fine and dandy. I really did like Contessa's hair, and apparently the EP liked it too, but that's neither here nor there, child. Nonetheless, Simone tells them that her and Cecil won't be hosting the couples trip this year because given the current state of their marriage, they decided to pass that baton on to Toya and Eugene, who are in a great season of their marriage. And that was much to the dismay of Mimi and Angel in particular. Y'all know why. If you've been watching this season, you know why Angel and Mimi don't really care too much for Toya in this regard at this point in time in the season. And mind you, at the same time, we have Toya and Eugene having the same type of conversation at their house, with Toya telling him literally the same thing, that Cecil and Simone have passed the torch on to them so they could coordinate the couples trip. And thanks to Chat GPT, she has decided to choose the destination of Jamaica. So Eugene's all for it. He's good with it because, child, he got 17 days off. And as we know, he's working 2, 3, 4, 5 million hours away from home. So I know he couldn't wait to kick back and take a load off. Mimi and Angel, of course, tell Simone how they're feeling. They're like, do you really, feel like they're the best candidates for this? Do you think that, she's a safe friend? And Simone does. She is going to kind of still keep her toe in the mix when it comes to, I guess, helping still make sure that this goes well for everybody. This is a good trip for everybody. But no, it will be Toya and Eugene spearheading it. And from there, they go into the actual premiere. The movie starts. I gotta watch that movie. It looked cool or whatever. I mean, again, y'all know how I feel about Angel, so I'm gonna check it out. And everybody was loving it up until we look over at Contessa, y'all. Why was Contessa knocked out? When I talk about snoring, Mama was tired, obviously. Simone don't know why though, but nonetheless, when the credits roll, tell me why everybody started clapping. And we got Contessa over here like, yes, that was great. Oh, I loved it. I loved you. Oh, girl, you would sleep through the whole thing. I thought it was funny though. I'm like, why didn't anybody wake her up then if that was the case? But anyway, moving right along, everybody begins to pack for the trip. Of course, Steve is bringing every Louis item he has because we wouldn't expect nothing more, nothing less from him. And Shamar, apparently Brandi's husband, was only going to be able to come for one day. And she also is going to have to leave early on the back end because their kids are going to be starting school soon. And she's not trying to miss that. Totally understand that. And for him, he's going to be watching the kids for the most of it because they don't have their, they don't have a full village there to help with their childcare. So understood that. They finally touched down in Montego Bay. Toya and Eugene have a Sprinter waiting for them. Why did Toya try to like act like, oh yeah, because and it's the Mercedes Benz? And I'm like, first of all, everybody, like, have I ever? I might have. I don't know. I might have. They're really not that uncommon. I see Mercedes Benz like Sprinters literally on the highway all the time, so whatever. And I love how they gave us that flashback to let us know that this isn't the first time that somebody's rented a Mercedes Sprinter. Like, okay, you tried it, Toya. Anyway, from there, we find out that, like, child, tell me why Mimi and Steve, their flight was canceled. Scott and Contessa. Scott didn't even get cleared yet by his doctor. His eyes look crazy still. And we got Angel, Brandi, Heavenly, Damon, Quad, and King all on a separate flight. And Simone and Cecil. So wait, were Simone and Cecil on a separate flight then? Because what had happened was, y'all, if you didn't watch the episode, Simone is a diamond medallion holder in terms of like with Delta and stuff. And she was trying to give up her seat. Cecil, on the other hand, he clearly isn't a diamond medallion. He doesn't have that same status, so he was moved over to Frontier. And like I said, Simone wasn't about to give up that seat. So yeah, I guess they came on two different flights, which I'm like, y'all, don't get me wrong, I am not codependent at all. Like, I think that everybody should have their own space, their own bit of solitude in partnerships, boyfriend, girlfriend, boyfriend, girlfriend, like it don't matter, husband, wife, like it don't matter. Everybody needs a bit of their own time, their own space frequently. Totally understand that. Hell, I just had three weeks of solitude in this motherfucker, so trust me, I get it. But with that being said, you guys are already disconnected, and it just, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I'm like, the eagerness that we see between them and like being set, or mostly from Simone, obviously we know the state that they're in right now, but it just, I'm like, I don't know, stuff like that, when it's like you could have just got on the flight together, or appeared as though you like being around each other. It just, I don't know, that stood out to me. Y'all let me know. Anyway, so from there, they all, and I should say that Curtis, he was at a golf tournament or whatever in Canada. Raise your hand if you feel like he could have kept his ass there. Y'all already know, I don't even like Curtis like that. Anyway, so they're going to be staying at Secrets, like a Secrets resort. And when they all get around and stuff and arrive at the resort, they're welcomed. Obviously, they got like some welcome drinks and stuff like that. King, as we know, is Jamaican. He was born in Kingston specifically. He lived in Jamaica until he was around 9 or 10 years old. So obviously this trip hits different for him in particular. The rooms are really nice. Toya and Eugene, they want to start off with this pledge of friendship. I'm like, see, I see what y'all are trying to do there, but we know that even if these people wanted to participate in a pledge of friendship, we all know that it's going to go down how they want it. We know the mess is going to occur. It always gets crazy, especially on couples trips. So this is just really going to go on one ear and out the other. But I guess they wanted to start off at least on the good foot. I don't know. But mind you, going back to the beginning, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to speed past this, but going back to like the beginning scene when Toya and Eugene were talking about how they're going to be putting on this trip, we got Toya talking about, oh, well, as single people, it just puts like an extra responsibility. It's almost like an extra responsibility on the host or the other people, the other couples, to kind of like step in to make sure those people feel included. And obviously she was more so saying that to highlight Angel because genuinely she's the only person on the cast that's single. We have Brandi, who's going to be on the trip partially single. Even Jackie was on the trip partially single at certain points, meaning by their solo, but not actually. Yeah, she say solo, not single. Angel's the only single person. So I was like, what are you trying to say, Toya? Are we going to get on this whole? If that's the case, then she shouldn't be on the show at all. If we're going to go back to single people shouldn't be on shows, unmarried people shouldn't be on these types of shows, whatever. It kind of fell in that arena for me. I'm like, is that what you're trying to get at, Toya? Because you know why she's showing up. She's on the cast. It's an all cast trip type deal. Can we stop acting obtuse? Like, I want them to break the fourth wall when it comes to that type of thinking, because we all know why Angel's there. And from the looks of it, it don't look like she's about to be there single for very much longer. So anyway, we'll wait until next week to get into that part of the conversation though. Mind you, we also get different points in the episode where the Met Gala is still brought up. You know, Toya's still trying to coordinate that. Jackie's still trying to make sure she's coordinating it properly. Heavenly still feels some type of way that Toya's spearheading this or whatever. It's still a whole bunch of conflict as it pertains to the Met Gala that is rapidly approaching at this point. They barely sold any tickets. Jackie's trying to get a participation from everybody. And sorry, y'all, I thought I heard someone screaming. I was like, what? Oh, it's a dog. Anyway, I was like, oh my God. So yeah, they barely sold any tickets. And I'm just like, see, this is how y'all get into these situations where you have to cough up a hell of a lot of money because you barely sold any tickets. Who's supposed to be selling the tickets? We already heard how many tickets y'all need to have to break even. Anyway, so we find out that, oh, I didn't know Angel was in nursing school, or she's studying to become a nurse practitioner. So she's studying for that. She's trying to juggle priorities with partying. I definitely know the struggle. I've never been to nursing school specifically, but yes, being a person that has participated in advanced degrees and higher education and stuff like that. Yeah, that shit is not for the birds. Like, I've been on many trips. I've been on many, I've had many events, many different things, work stuff, all types of stuff going on in my life, and just trying to balance that while being a full-time student, it can be a lot. So if you have the luxury of only focusing on one at a time, that's a blessing if you ask me, because trying to juggle both, and she's a mom, and she had time to put out this movie and stuff. She really does stay busy, but I love to see it. I love to see it. So kudos to her. Quad really wants this trip to be about like just a refresh for them. We know the heaviness of the IVF process right now is still over top of their heads, and she's just hoping to really just reconnect and rekindle those positive aspects of her and King's relationship. Not even going to say too much on that, because y'all already know what's going to come of that. Y'all already know that she and him broke up, so it is what it is. But for now, they at least want to, I guess, try to reconnect. So it seems like this trip goes well for them, I want to say, based on like the preview and stuff like that. I don't think it's necessarily going to be them having the drama like together. So, but I am really starting to think though, y'all, that we're going to see more of their relationship unraveling on the show than we knew in the beginning. I do think we're going to see a bit more of that. And I say that not to get ahead of myself, but in one of the like final confessionals, we see King by himself. And I know I've said it like in online before. I don't know. I might have said it in other people's chats. Who knows? But I know I've said, or I've clocked that on this show in particular, like none of the guys have their own confessionals. It's always with their wives, girlfriends, whatever. But him in particular, he has some confessionals now by himself. So I don't know. I'm just putting it all together. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Just saying. So they all go out to the club. It did look like they were having fun. And I love that. I love like when all ages, when all people from different walks of life, different backgrounds, stuff like that. I love when we can all get together, have a good time, just really just enjoy life. And it looked like there was no shortage of that. Tell me why Toya was up there throwing that thing back up on the couch. Eugene was in the middle dance floor. They was out there having a time, so much so that we fast forward 10 hours later and it was given the melanated hangover. So they trying to get themselves together and, you know, power through the hangover, whatever. And this is where they're going to be embarking on their medical mission for the season. And they're going to be going out into the community, into touch base with some of the youth in the area. They're going to be giving out like backpacks of supplies, and they have feminine care products and hygiene products and all different types of stuff. They're going to be talking to them, doing some activities. Y'all know how they do on the show. I actually love seeing the medicine of the show. I'll never stop saying that. So I'm cool with that. Mind you, Quad is in there. She's trying to get ready and stuff like that. And two things can be true at the same time. Quad, y'all know you got to be down there. We ain't got time for that. You should have woke up ahead of time. Like when I know I have to be somewhere, and I know how long it takes me to get ready. And I like always try, especially if I'm like getting ready, a minimum of 2 hours. Like I give myself a minimum of 2 hours to get ready all the time. If I'm like going out doing a full face, depending on how my hair is and stuff like that, minimum of 2 hours. And so as long as I know when to be somewhere, I know when I need to start getting ready. I know it's kind of a lot of moving parts when you're on a vacation. So, you know, I get it. And you're coordinating times with a whole bunch of other people and production and stuff like that. So I get it. But just, you know, keeping that in mind. And then on the reverse side of that too, King, she's obviously, you only had 2 more strands left or whatever. Maybe you should pick up a fucking curling iron then and helps her. Because I hate to be rushed. That'll just make me not even want to come. But I get it. It's all for the kids. Like I said, I get both sides. But we're seeing her curl these last couple pieces. He's eager to get there. He's actually helped coordinate this. And he's actually had provided some assistance with this trip. So shout out to him. I think that this was a wonderful cause. I think they really all know how to come together. And Simone even spoke of that when they were on the sprinter. They know when to come together when it means business. And that is something I really, really love about this show. So they all file out to get onto the sprinter. And we have the Met Gala being brought up again. And when I tell you, Heavenly immediately jumped off the porch because, or no, even before that, we have Toya telling them that, you know, Angel and Brandi, since they're going to be single on the solo on the trip, not single, they're going to be rotating amongst the couples. And at the end of the day, they're going to say what they learned and what they could do better as they gather that information from those couples. And right off the bat, Heavenly's like, what the fuck? That's like me trying to learn how to make some money from a broke bitch. Like, I don't know if do sprinter buses make Heavenly nervous? Does she get motion sickness and it goes to her head and then out her mouth? I don't know. But the things that she was saying on this sprinter, like the bones she was picking, I'm like, are you projecting right now? Like, and I've kind of refrained from saying that for some of these episodes and some of these instances we've been seeing her, but it's just like she has a super short fuse and kind of just flies off the handle when it comes to certain things. And I know some of you guys will sit there and be like, girl, she been like that the whole time. But no, it's like I don't know. It's like different this season and in these moments. Because it's like, girl, what are you talking about? Like, you sound stupid because at the end of the day, I don't care what anybody tells you guys. I've always been of the belief that you can learn something from anybody. And whether or not that person is a person doesn't need to be the richest person in the world in order to tell me how to make some money or how to not lose some money. I don't think that, no, me not being a parent, no. Do I know everything about parenting? No, but I've been a child. I know what it means to be a good person. And I feel like to be a good person, a lot of times, to be a upstanding citizen, to be like all these different things, a lot of time that is at the basis of these types of roles you play in your life and stuff like that, and the ways you show up in your life. If you're just a shit person, quite honestly, I don't see how you could be a great parent. I don't see how you could do certain things, and give or take. But I say that when it comes to this, because it's like, what does that have to do with anything? I do feel like even Cecil and Simone, for that matter, they can teach people how to not allow things to get this fucking bad when it comes to still providing support for your children after the age of 18, 20, whatever. Like, there's a lot that still can be bestowed upon other people in this group. So why, if that was the case, why the fuck do you guys even go on trips at all then? If you know everything, then why are you even on the fucking retreat to begin with? Or the fucking, y'all know what I'm saying? That doesn't make sense. So that just annoyed me. And it just continued to annoy me because before we know it, they start going back and forth because, like I said, Met Gala gets brought up a bit. Jackie's trying to explain to Brandi how things are going to work. And we have Heavenly getting all irritated too once they are nearing the facility and stuff like that, because according to her, Eugene and Toya should apologize because they didn't even, help like they were supposed to for the last Met Galas. And Eugene's like, bullshit, we provided that wine. Now, that was a regifted gift. We're not going to sit here and say, Eugene and Toya, that is what was being requested of you. Y'all know what was being requested of you, and that didn't fit the bill, in my opinion. That should have been in addition to the monetary fee, donation, whatever. But that's just me. And Toya, Heavenly, you're demanding all of this respect from Toya when Damon is the one that started talking when she was talking. So no, I'm not going to shut up. Your man could shut the fuck up because I was talking first. So I don't know how y'all do it over there, but I just don't cut people off and let people talk no matter who they are. But two, no, I'm not over here like, oh yes, daddy, go ahead and talk. Like, what? That I don't know. I'm not familiar with that type of behavior. That's not how I do things over here. Clearly, that's not how Toya does things. That's not how a lot of people in the comments do things from what I saw. So it was, it was unlikable in that moment for me. I'm just being real. And this is how you guys know. And this is actual proof that I am not a biased viewer. This is proof that I watch all these shows unbiased as I can possibly be, because I do like Heavenly a lot of the time. I do appreciate her role on the show. I do think that she is a good cast member for the most part on the show a lot of the time. But in this particular episode, no ma'am, she was pissing me off, especially in this scene. And Simone was even like, girl, just shut the fuck up. We're in Jamaica. Like, be quiet. And why are y'all even talking about business right now too, when you know that this is a touchy subject? We're on vacation. Like, just table that shit. We'll talk about it when we get back to Atlanta. I don't know. That might be just that might be not how people think that you should do things, especially since we are on a time crunch here. But I don't give a fuck. We're gonna table that shit until we get back there. Oh well. We'll just work twice as hard once we get back. Anyway. And Damon's like, I just think it's petty and juvenile and it's not very politician. Or no, that's what Eugene said. Because he's like, you would never allow any man to talk to you like that in front of your husband. The way that, the way that she was going off, it was just, it was a lot for me. It was a lot for me. And she's like, God damn it, my man is trying to speak. I let him pray. Nobody want to hear you talk too fucking much. And I get it. Toya's been coming at Heavenly's neck, I feel like, unprovoked a lot during the season, but this was just, it wasn't like likable to watch. Like, it wasn't good TV to watch that type of, no. So as they step off the Sprinter, they go into the facility. Curtis, Scott, and Contessa They all finally arrive, and mind you, Quad and King, they weren't there yet. They do wind up showing up, and it's actually his cousin. I wrote her name down, Dr. Danette Green. She was there. She's a charity organizer. She lets them know the deal and everything. She shows them all the items and stuff, and they bring the kids in right as Quad and King are coming in, followed by Mimi and Steve. So everybody's officially there now, good to go. And they kick it. They start speaking to the kids. Each like doctor, medical professional, nurse, everybody pretty much. Steve even said some things. King said some things. They all, bestowed a little bit of wisdom, a little bit of motivation onto the children, with Heavenly in particular saying the word damn in her statement. And then she goes on to say that damn isn't a bad word. So, okay. I'm not even gonna, okay. But yeah, it was cool. And we pretty much wrap up with some of them outside. King and Eugene are talking because Eugene is telling King how before him and Heavenly got married, he sat on a rock one day and just asked God if this is not what he's supposed to be doing, then show him a sign. And he sat there for 3 hours and nothing happened. So that's just how he knew. Y'all, I'm never anybody to criticize or speak on anybody's faith or anybody's personal relationship with God, because I don't want anybody to do that to me. But I just do not think that that is how it works. I'm sorry. I don't. And I feel like this is the little bit delusional as far as almost bordering on how people just mold things. Was it confirmation bias? How people just mold things to fit their narrative? Because I just don't think that that's how that works, y'all. Y'all let me know. Am I crazy? But it was resonating enough with King because, and Damon also lets us know that he wasn't too keen on Heavenly running for to trying to be a politician out here, because there's, he wants to be with her. He wants her to be around him and stuff like that. He wants to, have more of her. But at the end of the day, if she has a calling, if she feels moved to do something like that, he's going to support it 100%. And King's like, yeah, that's just, partnership or whatever. And that's why basically he tries to equate that to how he's been showing up and making sacrifices for Quad in this IVF process. And I'm like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I wish Damon would have just shut that down right there, because no, me supporting something that only, if Heavenly wins and stuff like that, will her being in politics affect like the family? Yeah, it will. It will. But ultimately, she's the one in the driver's seat with that. It's still her life, her title, stuff like that. In contrast, bringing a child into this world, whether through IVF or naturally, adoption, what have you, that is something that both people are doing. They're embarking on parenthood. That is something that we need to be in sync with. That is not just something that is I'm sacrificing to give you what you want. No, you guys should equally want that. That's totally different, King. And I really wish Damon would have broke that down and been like, whoa, that's not at all what I meant. That's not how that should work at all. But he didn't. Ultimately, not surprised or ever. But that's pretty much where it ends. Toya shows them, gratitude for everybody coming together and things working out with this, that we're having a dinner that night. And yeah, that's where the episode ends. It looks like it's about to get live come next week, y'all. So y'all know I'll be down here to talk about it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and I will see y'all then. Bye.